Hi guys, Aaron Dorr here, policy advisor with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. And as you guys know, last week we broke the story on our Facebook page all about the Red Flag Gun Seizure agenda being pushed in Missouri by Michael Bloomberg and his in-state water carrier, if you will, Representative Stacey Newman. And since that time, we've been getting hammered with calls and emails and Facebook notes from you guys wanting to know more about what this means, what the bill actually says, and how we can stop this here before it becomes a real problem in advance of the 2019 session. So what I have for you guys today is a video update on this Red Flag Gun Seizure bill in Missouri right now, as referred to as House Bill 1340. And of course, they're out of session right now. No question about that. But this is the issue that's circulating right now behind the scenes in Jeff City and all across the country, frankly, when it comes to the types of gun control bills that Bloomberg can pass in red states like Missouri. So this is going to be a really important update for you guys to see what's going on in this fight. And when you're done watching the video, take a couple seconds and sign our petition opposing this dangerous Constitution-shredding Red Flag Gun Seizure bill. Guys, sign a petition. Help us out by doing that. So, what is it? What does it mean? How does it impact me? How can I stop it? Red Flag Gun Seizures, they're known by a variety of names. That's the most common one. Sprang up after the Parkland, Florida shooting in February of 2018. This was seen as a response that, quote unquote, all sides could agree to, a, quote unquote, reasonable response type of thing that both sides could pass to claim they were doing something in response to a mass shooting. Now, of course, we all know as gun owners that what they should be doing is repealing gun-free zones and putting more guns in the hands of law-abiding citizens. That's how you harden targets and stop shooters. But no, they want to pass gun control. And the most palatable view of gun control right now in many states, like Missouri, is Red Flag Gun Seizures. What it does is it depends on how it's actually drafted, but it allows lots of different people who know you to go before a judge and say that you're a threat to yourself or somebody else. It could be a former neighbor. It could be a school teacher in some cases. It could be, a former boss. It could be a former employee. It could be a bitter ex-spouse. It could be an angry, jilted ex-girlfriend. Many different types of people can go before a judge and say that this guy is a threat and he should lose his gun rights. Now, before we even discuss how absurd this is, realize that we all agree criminally insane people should not have guns, of course. And guess what? They already can't. There's already a process in state and federal code for somebody to be adjudicated defective and lose his or her gun rights. That's a policy that obviously we all support. This is not that. This is not that. What this allows the court to do is hear evidence from one of these bitter ex-spouses or a bitter ex-boyfriend or fill in the blank, and they could decide to seize your gun rights and you're never even in the room. It is an ex parte hearing process. You're not even there. You don't even know what's going on until after it's done and government agents come to your house to seize your firearms. And don't think for a second it can't happen here in Missouri. It happened in Florida just this year, and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of A-rated Republicans backed this. So it certainly can happen here in Missouri if we're not very, very aggressively trying to shut this down. Now, the next big issue, of course, is what type of evidence can be used against me? Because obviously, if somebody's making threats to attack a school, he should lose his gun rights, right? Of course. We all agree with that. And there's a process in place right now to arrest that person for making threats. Again, this is not that. Under the list of evidences that can be considered against you if this bill passes in Missouri, the list of evidence includes, and I'm on page 2, line 28, evidence of recent acquisition of firearms, rifles, shotguns, or other deadly weapons. That's it, guys. If you simply buy a firearm recently, and what does recent mean? Does that mean 24 hours? Does that mean 6 months? Does that mean, 4 or 5 weeks? There's no definition. If you've recently purchased a firearm, that is sufficient grounds for the judge to consider you to be defective. And again, how this works is they would issue an order to have your firearms seized before you're even aware of it. So let's be very clear on what this means. under a red flag gun seizure, you would lose your Second Amendment freedom, having never been arrested, having never been indicted, and having never been convicted by a judge or jury of your peers. So these three pillars of the process, the arrest, the indictment, and the conviction, all of these come with due process guarantees. Heck, you'd have way more due process rights challenging a speeding ticket or a stop sign violation right now in Missouri than you would if this red flag gun seizure law passes. That's how crazy this is. The recent purchase of a firearm constitutes evidence. You're not even allowed to be there. And if you literally have no criminal history whatsoever, it wouldn't stop a judge from issuing this order. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, yeah, but I mean, are they really going to issue it? Is the judge really going to do it? Guys, it's happening right now in Florida. Over 500 gun owners have been stripped of every gun they own, and many of them have never, ever been charged with anything. Ask yourself for a moment, in today's media frenzy against gun owners, ask yourself for a moment how many judges you think in Missouri will stand up and say, no, this is a bunch of crap. This is a witch hunt. There's no due process here. I'm going to deny this request to ban somebody's firearms. Guys, it's not going to happen. These judges are going to want to be able to cover their butt and say, oh yes, I issued the confiscation order, and that will be the default. It's happening right now in states all across the country. So guys, take a moment right now and sign our petition that we've made for you above and below this video right now, opposing red flag gun seizure laws. Again, this issue, heaven help us, is uniting the left and the right, and they're laying down their partisan bickering, and they're instead having this incestuous, backroom deal making right now, where they can all agree this is a reasonable, common sense approach. We could not agree more. There's nothing more pernicious to our gun rights than stripping us of due process. There's nothing worse than allowing someone to lose their firearms from evidence as flaky as the recent purchase of a firearm. This is a really serious situation, and it's passing in red states, guys. Florida passed it. Indiana passed it, and other Republican-controlled states have enacted this bill, and we should take this threat very seriously in Missouri. Many lawmakers did not want to return our survey this year because they did not want to go on the record opposing red flag gun seizures. That should be a wake-up call and a big red alarm, to gun owners across the state. So again, take a moment and sign your petition. That's step number one. Help us in this fight. With your petition, number one. Number two, then, is to consider making a donation to the Missouri Firearms Coalition using links above and below this video, and help us get the word out and mobilize as many gun people as we can before the next session. And number three, and as important as anything else, is to simply share this. Put this video, maybe you're watching on Facebook, maybe you're seeing it in an email, maybe you're watching on YouTube. However you're watching this video, share it. Put it on your personal Facebook page. Put it on pages you administer. Put it out there on gun forums you're involved in, and get the word out. Because again, some gun guys out there aren't concerned about attacks on the AR-15 because maybe they don't like them. Some gun guys don't like the Pheasants Forever crowd because you're not involved in the gun rights fight enough. This thing impacts all of us. Whether you're a 75-year-old gun owner who owns a $10,000 super high-end hunting shotgun, or you're a 19-year-old kid who owns a Remington 870 and a Ruger 1022, all of our gun rights are impacted by red flag gun seizure laws. And we need every gun owner to come down off the bleachers and get directly involved in this fight. Again, number one, sign a petition. Number two, join the Missouri Firearms Coalition as a donor today. And number three, share this video. Get the word out there, guys. Help us mobilize as many people as we can, because this thing needs to die a quick death before we even convene the 2019 session. Thank you guys for your attention, and have a great day.